These are satellite images of the Kim family's private fleet. A set of luxury vessels anchored off the coast of Wonsan, North Korea. According to insiders, the private fleet was part of a playground for the elite. Days-long parties and banquets, staffed by carefully selected young women, arranged for Kim Jong-Il and his inner circle. In the late 90s, an Italian pizza chef flown in to each authentic pizza had no idea what was really going on here. This is what happened.
Buongiorno, sono Ermanno
His name,
Furlanis, sono nato a Portogallo.
Ermanno Furlanis, pizza instructor, expert chef. He thought he was going to Vietnam. He was wrong. It started with a phone call.
Pronto?
An anonymous client, a vague destination in Asia, a lucrative offer Furlanis could refuse. But first, he faced an interrogation. Two men, one young, one elderly, questioned him relentlessly. A previous chef had failed. They couldn't afford another mistake. No pleasantries, no smiles. Then Furlanis murmured something in Russian. The old man's face cracked, just barely. Destination: Pyongyang, North Korea, the Hermit Kingdom. Before boarding, he received the final item. 7 centimeters wide, unnaturally heavy, sealed. No explanations, no questions allowed. The package bypassed every single security check. To this day, Furlanis doesn't know what he actually smuggled into North Korea. The flight, Air Koryo, the world's only one-star airline, moldy seats, brutal hostesses, and a locked door to a secret military section. Below him, darkness. North Korean night. No electricity, no cities, just black. At Pyongyang airport, he was met by a man introduced as Mr. Ram, officially a guide, practically a warden. He wasn't taken to a hotel. Instead, he was taken to a military compound. Silk sheets, stock fridges, phones that only worked inside the building. This wasn't hospitality. This was a gilded prison. Next day, full medical exam, X-rays, EKG, blood drawn, lots of blood. When Furlanis demanded to speak to the Italian ambassador, the request was immediately denied. Isolation was part of the contract. Finally, the real mission. Base Matryoshka, a hybrid military tourist facility on a remote island. Mr. Park, the overseer. Rolex, ironic smile, high-ranking official with a taste for Italian food. The students, trained to serve the regime's elite. Every pizza they made was taken away for evaluation by a jury of high-ranking officials. One recipe won above all others. Pepperoni pizza, spicy salami, the favorite of Kim Jong-Il and his inner circle. Furlanis received American dollars as tips, a currency officially banned for citizens. Furlanis noted the irony and joked, maybe the next peace summit should happen in a pizzeria. Pepperoni is the only thing the US and North Korea agree on. But where were the pizzas really going? Furlanis didn't know. Not yet. He was working in what he called a collective hallucination, a floating pizzeria attached to a steamship, equipped with a full-fledged kitchen, reached daily by luxury yacht. But the real destination was half a mile away, a self-propelled barge, 40 meters wide, featuring water slides and an Olympic-sized pool. On the opposite end from the slides stood a building topped with a viewing platform. Furlanis was not allowed to even look at the structure. If he tried, his minders would physically turn his head away. According to former chefs, these parties lasted for days. Kim Jong-Il never engaged. He only observed. Years later, in 2013, Dennis Rodman would spend a week in Wonsan as a guest to Kim Jong-un, comparing the place to Hawaii or Ibiza. He also described one of the Kim family's vessels as a cross between a ferry and a Disney boat, a description consistent with the floating structure Furlanis had sketched decades earlier. Young women, pool parties, endless food. The pizzas Furlanis was teaching were for this. But in the late 90s, he was completely in the dark. After 3 weeks, the mission ended. Back in Italy, Furlanis published an article about his experience. That's when the spies came calling. A man named Dario, S.I.S.M.I, Italian intelligence. He wanted to know everything. Where the North Koreans were in Italy, where they'd met, and, according to Furlanis, whether he'd be willing to go back to North Korea as a collaborator for Italian intelligence. Also, they tapped his phone. When North Koreans called inviting him back for Christmas, Italian intelligence heard everything. And it wasn't just Italy. At a public talk about his trip, somebody revealed that the CIA had quietly flagged his mission. They detected suspicious metallic masses traveling from Berlin to Pyongyang. They thought, weapons. It was pizza ovens. He'd seen the luxury, the propaganda, the floating playground, but he also seen his students' faces. In the end, when Italian intelligence approached him about going back, Furlanis refused. Today, the two Koreas remain divided. Nuclear tensions, frozen conflict. But somewhere in North Korea, they're still making pizza. Pepperoni. The only thing both sides ever agreed on.